everybody, my name is Anna and welcome the fuck back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the Mandela effect. But contrary to the majority, I would say that I do not believe in the Mandela effect, and that's what I'm gonna kind of be talking about in this video. Now, don't get me wrong, I love watching conspiracy theory videos. Michelle, shout out to you. I love that kind of shit. It's fun. And the reason why they're so intriguing is because it's true. You know, what is happening? I feel like I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's talk about what the Mandela effect is. So the Mandela effect has to do with the past or past events, and it is basically like how different populations or groups of people recall a certain memory or event. Basically, there is what actually happened, like historically, but for some reason there's a huge group of people that swear that they remember something else happening and they can like vividly remember the details, and it just doesn't match up to what historically or like actually happened. So one of the most popular examples that people talk about is how the term Mandela effect came about. It has to do with Nelson Mandela and the idea that he died in prison when in reality he didn't die in prison. He got out of prison and died in 2013. But a huge group of people, like thousands of people, swear they recall him dying in prison. They vividly recall the events that happened around it. They swear that they remember it happening like that. But he didn't die in prison. Like I said, he got out and he died in 2013. But because of that like giant worldwide misconception, that is how the term Mandela effect came about. So what is the point here? What am I trying to say? I think that, well, hang on. I think a main idea that this video is going to kind of like be based upon, if that makes sense, is false memories. So I took this class my junior, or was it my senior year? No, I think it was my junior year of college, called Perception and Memory, and I just remember thinking like Mandela effect. And I wanted to make this video for a while, but like, I don't know, I don't want to be that person to like debunk something that is fun, because, you know, it is fun to think about this kind of stuff, and it is fun to have an open mind and think about like parallel universes and multi-universes and parallel realities and all that fun shit, because I like to think. I have a very open mind. Sometimes that shit is too open. I almost went too woke that I broke, but I caught myself. So I believe in a lot, but the Mandela effect, not so much. In this video, I'm gonna kind of talk about why. But before we even jump into that, let's look at the question at hand here. What is causing an entire population of people to swear that they recall a memory so vividly different than everybody else? If this has ever happened to you, like you swear you remember Nelson Mandela dying in prison, or you swear it was the Berenstain Bears and not the Berenstain Bears, or you swear the line in the movie was Luke, I am your father, or the line in the movie was mirror, mirror on the wall, which are both inaccurate. If you swear that you remember it that way, you're wrong. But why? Why do you remember it like that? And that is what we're going to be talking about today. So according to the Mandela effect, the answer to that question would be parallel universes, multiple universes. It theorizes that somehow our universe or our reality collided or crashed into, somehow just crossed paths with a parallel universe or parallel reality. And because of that, things are changing. And this brings up the multiverse theory, which I believe in 100%. The multiverse theory, put simply, is just that there are multiple universes. And the truth is, if we are the only universe, then that's it, we're the only universe. But if there are multiple universes, which is more likely than not, then there isn't just 1, 2, 3, 4, 100, 5,000 universes. There's probably an infinite number of universes, so odds are there are parallel ones that are almost identical to us, just slightly different. That is a whole theory on its own. Do I believe in that? Kind of, but according to the Mandela effect, this is what is causing these changes and what is causing populations, huge groups of people, to swear they remember a memory differently than everybody else, because we cross paths with a parallel universe. So let's go back to the Nelson Mandela example and kind of like relate it to the situation. What the Mandela effect is saying is that yes, Nelson Mandela did not die in prison in this reality. He got out and died in 2013, but he did die in prison in a different reality, and because our two realities or our two universes cross paths, somehow a giant group of people are now recalling the memories of their parallel universe selves and recalling the memory differently. That is what the Mandela effect is saying. So let's go over some examples, because I want you to really understand like what this is. I think one of the most famous examples, and you see tons of YouTube videos about it and articles about it, is the childhood book, and I'm pretty sure a TV show or movie too, the Berenstain Bears or the Berenstain Bears. Me, like thousands of other people, swear that it was the Berenstain Bears, as in Berenstein. But we are wrong, and it is and has always been the Berenstain Bears, as in Berenstein, like stain. fucking stain. Like, I feel you. I am one of the people that swear it was S-T-E, like spelled with an E. I do not remember it being stain. I feel like we would remember that. So what is causing this? Why do me and a ton of other people swear it was spelled with an E, when in reality it's always been spelled with an A? Well, that is a false memory. Another example, which I feel like is a pretty famous, known example of the Mandela effect, is the line from the movie, "Luke, I am your father." But that was never said. In the movie, it actually says, "No, I am your father." There is never, "Luke, I am your father."
With our combined strength, we can end this destructive conflict and bring order to the galaxy.
I'll never join you!
If you only knew the power of the dark side. Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
He told me enough. He told me you killed him.
No, I am your father.
No. It's not true.
There's a high probability that you're mind blown right now, because I was mind blown. But the truth is, even though I always remembered it as "Luke, I am your father," I remember saying that my entire childhood. I never even saw the movie. So how can I be so sure of that? I am basing my memory off of what other people have said, and just completely off of other people and other resources. I never even seen the movie, but my brain is telling me that it is "Luke, I am your father." But seriously, didn't you always think it was "Luke, I am your father" too? Because fucking same. So I think we get it now. I think we understand what the Mandela effect is. So before filming this video, I of course did some research, and I wanted to find out, why could so many people, thousands of people, report vividly remembering that the name Berenstein was Steen or Stain and not Stain? Me, like, I am one of those people, I swear it was always with an E. But why do we think that? And I found from watching a video about the creators of that series, that was their actual last name, and it was spelled S-T-A-I-N. And they said in this video that growing up with that last name, everybody either mispronounced it or misspelled it, and they spelled it as we are remembering it with an E. So even before this series came out, people were misspelling and pronouncing that last name. So why? Our brain and our mind, it just does so much that we are unaware of, and it picks up patterns, and it picks up like letter recognition, and for some reason, this is happening with this letter combination. And that right there just says so much. That is like a huge piece of evidence for the whole idea of false memories. And word of mouth is so powerful with this kind of stuff too. Like, let's say one person swears it was spelled with an E, and then he's talking to like his childhood friend, and he's like, "Hey man, do you remember that book that we used to read, the Berenstein Bears?" And then that other friend is like, "Holy shit, I forgot that existed. I used to love that book, man, blah blah blah." Now that title is imprinted in his brain as something that he forgot but now remembers with an E, even though it was with an A, simply by word of mouth, because that person said it like that. And not to mention, the theme song, it's hard to even hear what they're saying. So it's very likely that a group of people swear it was pronounced that way just from remembering the theme song alone.
Berenstain Bears. The Berenstain Bears.
You know what I mean? Like, that could add a lot of confusion right there. The other example that I mentioned briefly earlier, which is another famous example, is the famous line, "Mirror, mirror on the wall." We all know it. We have all heard it. It's in songs. I feel like we all swear that is what was said in the movie, right? In Snow White. It doesn't say that in the movie. It says, "Magic mirror on the wall."
Let me see thy face.
What wouldst thou know, my queen?
Magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?
Famed is thy beauty, majesty, but hold, a lovely maid I see.
So why do we recall it as "Mirror, mirror on the wall"? Well, if you want the truth, I've never even seen the movie. I only remember the famous line, "Mirror, mirror on the wall," because I've heard so many people say it. I feel like it was part of my childhood and I've never even seen the movie. But I swear that that was the line. So I did some research to debunk this as well, because literally everybody remembers the line as "Mirror, mirror on the wall." So if it wasn't in the movie, it had to come from somewhere, right? Unless we're crossing realities. But I wasn't buying it. I did research and I found out that the original Snow White, before the movie even came out, the story, the line says mirror, mirror on the wall. It got changed for the movie, I don't know why, into magic mirror on the wall. But in the original, it did say in writing, mirror, mirror on the wall. So my only guess here is that because of word of mouth, like generation to generation, childhood to childhood, whatever the fuck, somehow it got passed down as what the original, originally said as mirror, mirror on the wall, even though in the movie it says magic mirror on the wall. And because of that, we all recall it saying that in the movie, but in reality, it didn't. That's how false memories work. And not even just word of mouth. Like, our mind is just such a powerful thing on its own. Like, it's always busy and it's always working, even when we don't even realize it. Like, take 30 seconds and try to think about nothing. You can't. Well, maybe you can if you're really good at meditating and you've practiced this before, because it is a practice. Being mindful, meditation, all that. But really try to think about nothing. You're gonna be bombarded with thoughts like, am I thinking about nothing? How much time is left? How long have I been doing this? Am I still thinking about nothing? But I'm questioning if I'm thinking about nothing, so am I thinking about something else? You really can't keep your mind quiet. And your mind doesn't like gaps, so it fills it in. I know that is kind of confusing. This is a great time to show my Timmy example while I'm talking about how false memories can kind of be created because our brain and our mind fills in gaps. So a video that I posted not long ago at all shows me and Timmy absolutely shit-faced, but before we started drinking, he loses the bag of alcohol and we are trying to find it on camera. And I say to him, what does the bag look like? And he says twice. I'm pretty sure he said it 3 times, but it's only twice in the video because just the way editing worked out. But he said multiple times it is in a big brown paper bag. He says that twice. So we're looking around for this brown bag. We can't find it anywhere. We're looking, and eventually Timmy finds it. But watch what happens. Where the fuck is it? Timmy lost alcohol!
Wait, where did I put it?
I don't know, find it.
3, 2, 1.
How? Timmy, did you read upstairs?
I think so. It was a brown bag. It was in a big brown bag.
What? Are you sure you carried it in?
Yes.
Oh, you found it!
Oh, here it
It's not in a
is!
brown bag, you bitch! It's in a black bag!
That's why we can't find
Alright,
it.
crack it open! It was not brown, it was black. But for some reason, Timmy recalled it being brown. That was a literal false memory caught on camera. That was his brain trying to fill in the gaps. And his brain associated alcohol with, liquor stores, and a lot of the times they give you brown paper bags. So in reality, he could not retrieve the information of what the bag actually looked like. He thought he could. He thought it was a brown paper bag, but that was actually his brain just filling in the gaps of what he was associating with alcohol in liquor stores, and he thought he remembered it accurately, but it was a false memory, literally caught on camera. Thanks for the footage, Timmy. That's a great example, honestly. It shows exactly how our brain or our mind doesn't like gaps. It just remembered it as something else because our brain just needs to fill the gaps in. Fun fact, most studies that have been done on this, when they look at adults and how they recall childhood memories, it shows that we are actually really bad at recalling childhood memories. We think we're good, but we're actually really bad at it. And I think one of the biggest issues with false memories is that we're so confident in our memories. And I think the reason is because we don't realize when we don't remember something. It's like, we can't remember what we don't remember type of thing, but does this make sense? I feel like it's not gonna make sense. I feel like we're overly confident in our brain's ability to remember things because we only realize that we remember things when we remember things, but if we don't remember it, then we don't remember it, so we can't realize how bad it is. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. I feel like I'm not gonna cut that at all. I'm just gonna keep it in. It's just gonna sound like a bunch of just fucking rambling nonsense, but it makes sense to me. Does it make sense to you? Let me know in the comments below. So I've been rambling. What is my point here? My point here is that even though I feel like I have a very open mind and I love to think about, wild theories and universe shit and all that fun, just out of this world shit, I just can't get on the Mandela effect. I just feel like I know too much about the way the brain works to just hop onto this theory. And realistically, because like I said, I do believe in multiple universes, but realistically, if we're gonna collide with one, do you think it's gonna change the name of our childhood book? And I have read so many articles on this, I watched so many videos on this, I've learned about so many different theories, from parallel realities to multiple universes to wormholes to black holes to white holes. I feel like I have heard it all, and it's still just, the false memory idea is just way more legit to me. It was so fucking crazy that I heard someone breaking into my house. Anyway, I am just one to believe in crazy ass shit, and I like to think about that kind of stuff. And if you want the truth, if you want my honest opinion of what all reality is, the answer to every question about existence, I'm talking the point of living, death, afterlife, before life, spirituality, existence, religion, reincarnation, multiple universes, parallel universes. I'm talking the answer to everything. If you want to know what I think about all of that, I think that our brains and our minds and our souls as humans, we are not capable of understanding or knowing the truth, even if it was laid out right in front of us. The way I look at it is we live on Earth and we don't realize that everything is the way it is because of physics pretty much and because of laws and why certain things react with other things and atoms and molecules and everything is the way it is on Earth because of our laws. But on other planets where there's other forms of life that we can't reach or whatever, their laws are most likely not going to be the same as ours. They're going to have laws that allow them to sustain life. Obviously, I'm talking about intelligent life, but does that mean their laws have to be the same as our laws? Not at all. Things can work, just work differently. And because of that, and because of the fact that we are only familiar with how things work here on Earth, our brains, we can't even think about the possibilities. We really can't. We logically can't imagine it because we haven't been exposed to it. So the possibilities are literally endless, and that's just on other planets. Imagine other universes. Imagine all that is. You think that we would be able to understand that? Even if it was laid out right in front of us, the answer to every question that you ever had about existence, everything that is, everything that has been, everything that will be, we will never understand that because we're not supposed to understand it. And that is exactly how I feel about it. But that was me rambling and I totally just got super spiritual and trippy and all that, so don't mind me. But that's kind of the point. I have a very imaginative mind. Imaginative? Did I say that right? I have a very open mind. I like to think about what could be. So it's not like I'm one of those super closed-minded, boring people. It's not that. It's just the Mandela effect, false memories. There's just so much evidence and science behind that and why, things happen the way they happen. And I just see that being much more likely than crossing paths with the parallel universe and having my favorite childhood book title be changed. You know what I mean? I don't know. I guess I'm done rambling. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I don't want to rain on your parade if you are a big believer in the Mandela effect. Like I said, it is fun. I love the videos. Michelle, I love you, dude. But I don't know. This is how I feel. Let me know what you guys think. And if you like this video, let me know by giving it a big thumbs up. I was gonna do another video on the simulation hypothesis, even though I already have one. I just feel like I could talk about it for hours. So let me know if that would be something that you'd be interested in, or let me know, I don't know, some cool topics to talk about. I want to talk about time travel and my hypothesis or theory about it. And I don't know, just let me know some cool shit, because I miss just talking about fucking trippy ass fun shit. Of course, my camera died right as I was ending it. But I love you guys so fucking much. Ow, I just cracked my knuckle. Thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you in a couple days with a brand new video. Peace.